So realistically, scaling isn't super difficult. You just have to remember to yourself the reason why you're scaling, the reason why you're dividing these teams up. What's that reason, CL? I
Well,
just put you on the spot, right?
well, I mean, so the organization will, the whole point of agile transformation, right, is to get eventually the whole organization into synergy. So
Mm-hmm.
to scale the teams is to bring other parts of the business that are not agile and to be able to, have a scrum master or a person that's
Pause, pause,
like
pause, CL.
me.
That wasn't my question. Pause, pause, pause. My question is why do you need to split?
Oh, split. Oh, because you want to make sure it doesn't get well, in my experience as a developer, the more people it is, the harder it is to manage everybody, and
Why is
it's
it
hard to
why
work
is it hard to
together.
manage? Why is it hard to manage?
It's
Why is it hard for them to work together? Why?
it's just a lot of people. Daily stand-ups turning 15 to as you add on people,
Okay.
everybody have different challenges, and 15 minutes turn into like 30-minute, 45-minute daily stand-ups, and
Okay.
you
So
know.
you talked about a difficulty, right? So then why does it take longer to have a daily scrum, to have those meetings? Why does it take more time?
When let's see, when you go back to form, when you add new people to a team, it takes away that team chemistry a little bit, and you add a person. It's called forming, right? So we're forming a new team,
Okay.
and then we have new challenges based on what that person can do and their skill set.
Okay.
So, am I moving in the right direction?
No, you're fine. So then why does it become more challenging when you add new people?
Because you have to rebuild. It's like you go from high performing to like you starting over from scratch again. It's
Does
like
a
every
team
time
necessarily start over from scratch if you add somebody? That's not always the case, is it?
Not always, but you do have to figure out what that person's good at and skill sets, and then splitting up the work. If it depends on the workload as well. Or am I overthinking this?
You're overthinking it because I'm because what you're doing is you're giving me other reasons why, if you add a person, does it impact the team?
Yeah, it does impact the team.
In what way?
It's more. I want to say it's just more to deal with than versus if it was a smaller team. The bigger a team is, it's only one scrum master, and then it's one PO, and the more people you have, it seems like it just gets kind of unorganized. The
Okay,
more
so
people you
then
keep adding.
here's the question, right? Why is a big team less organized than a smaller team? What's the difference between those two? What's happening between them? The big one versus the small one.
Smaller teams seem like they have more connection, more time with each other. They have more time to collaborate versus a big team.
You hit it on the head. You hit it on the head. Now, why am I asking you this? Because the issue is collaboration. The issue is communication. Those lines of communication. And understand what I just did to you, CL. I just used the five whys on you.
I know. That's why I was thinking too hard.
I
I was
just used
trying
the
to get
five
you to
whys
stop
on
at
you.
3.
Right. But the point is, I just used the five whys on you. We got to about four, maybe even five. But the point is, we got to the root of the communication collaboration thing, right? And that's the
Right.
problem that you're dealing with at that particular point in time. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, man. My question for you is, did I actually answer your question, sir?
um. So that second question, we want 4 to 6 people,
Mm-hmm.
but so how would you? So as a scrum master, if the organization's like, "Hey, Devon, we want you to, also stand up 2 more teams on top of your 2 teams you already stood up because you did a great job, right?" Like how would that? How would you deal with that? Like, how would you
Well,
handle that?
the problem that you have is that A good Scrum Master can have more than one team. A great Scrum Master only has one. But here's the deal. A lot of Scrum Masters, industry standard, can handle 2 to 3 teams. Let's just say that, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
if they're asking you to stand up additional teams, just know every team you stand up means you have less time for the teams that exist. So who's going to backfill for the teams that exist? Does that make sense? So this is where
Mm-hmm.
I'm concerned at. So now I would want to make sure that I have someone to replace me for those other teams, because starting new teams is the most difficult part, because in the beginning is when they have the most questions.
Right.
Does that make sense? So you're going to do an
Right.
injustice to yourself if you're starting 2 brand new teams and you have 2 of them that already exist. Does that make sense? So
Right.
try to find a way to backfill for those other ones as best you can, so there's a smooth transition and they have someone to help them on a regular basis. While you go work with these 2 new teams would be the most fair thing to do. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Now, your organization may say no to that, and that happens. Not a big deal. Then you just got to do what you must do. Got it?
Right.
So yeah, you be
Right.
fine, man. Look at you. You're an expert, man. What you talking about, man? Why you even here, man? Why you even here? Why you asking me questions and I'm not asking you questions?
Hey, man, it's a show. I want to put on the show.
Hey, well, I appreciate it. I appreciate it, CL. So you should be good to go. You're welcome to call back at any time, CL. We good to go. You've been a part of the classes, all other stuff. So you have any other questions? I've seen you email me before, so we good, man.
I appreciate it.
All right, CL.
Appreciate it.
You have a good one, okay?
You too.
Thanks. Okay, everyone. Now, CL had a few good questions. Really, we covered about 3 things during that time with him. But his questions were just a good, solid 3 questions. 2 or 3 questions. We went into an additional one.